I have a lot of experience drinking.
Something to be proud of. Something to tell the grandkids.
Not particularly. Yeah, this one time. And Grandpappy didn't even vomit. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday Night Gentlemen Multimedia Empire official podcast. You're listening to episode number 77. This is a show where we like to talk about things like comic books, movies, TV shows, video games, political discourse sometimes, but always Star Trek. I am your host, Tactic Angel, and with me is Midget Radio, my murderous socialist friend.
Hello,
Midget Radio. How are you?
I'm okay, Tactic Angel. How are you?
I'm okay, too. Pretty okay. I feel like my okay sounds a little bit more positive than yours.
You think so, really?
I do. I feel like your okay is okay, and my okay is like okay plus.
Well, my okay is up there. My okay is accurate. Let me say that. It's accurate.
Okay, whatever. We are the Wednesday Night Gentlemen. We like to drink while we talk about things. I am drinking 1776, a whiskey that I've drank before.
Great. I'm drinking the black. I'm finishing the blackened, finally.
Finishing
it's all
it?
done. It's all
How
done.
much?
I got an empty bottle in front of me now.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know.
You're going to have to spend like $50 plus 130 shipping to get
Yeah.
some more.
Pretty much. It's almost worth it. I really like it.
I don't think it's worth it. You think about the amount of bullet you can get for that, and you'll start to be like,
I
I don't know.
know. Man, I miss the bullet. It's been a long damn time since I've had some bullet.
But you're working down that thing
Yeah.
pretty soon.
Well, now,
Pretty
yeah,
soon.
now I get another bottle now. So finish
Congrats.
this one. So yeah, it's a big day.
Remember, you still have to try the Still House,
Yeah.
the black bourbon. It's
Yeah.
delicious. I still
does
have
sound
one of the cans of that around.
Cans.
It's a good, I like it. It's a good whiskey.
It's ridiculous.
All right. So anyway, we're talking about Captain Marvel today. Captain Marvel is a creation of DC Comics and then also Marvel Comics, which admittedly makes a little bit more sense. Captain Marvel was originally an alien known as Mar-Vell. That's with a space and two L's, until his untimely death from space cancer. Monica Rambeau, it's true.
Yeah.
Monica Rambeau took up the mantle, then Genisfell, then at least two or three other people, until finally Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers, assumed the title in just 2012. And that version, rather than the previous incarnation of Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel or Warbird, is the basis of the 2019 film From the Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Midget Radio, we've both seen this movie.
Yeah.
What are your impressions?
I was fine with it. It was fine. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was fine, man. Like, I actually feel like Brie Larson and Sam Jackson have a little bit of chemistry together, which was kind of nice. And the music was great. And yeah, I don't know. It wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a big, stupid end of the world story. It largely made sense. And I really like, what's his name? The guy who played Talos, Ben Mendelsohn. Yeah, I really like him as a Skrull. I actually like the portrayal of the Skrulls in general as well. And the portrayal of the Kree was pretty solid and fairly accurate, I would say.
Okay. I thought this movie was boring.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. I guess I could see that. I guess I could see that. Yeah, I feel like when I was watching it, I was like, this, I'd almost put it, well, I don't know. We differ on this. We differ on Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. But I think both of those movies could drop off the face of the earth forever and no one would notice. And that may be true of this film as well. But I like it.
Well, you can say whatever you want about that. But, you know, at least Rudd has a lot of personality.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he does. I mean, I like Paul Rudd.
Kind of like this. I don't have a lot to say about this movie because it's basically a black hole
Okay.
from which neither creativity nor originality can escape.
Okay.
The only thing I really liked about it was one line from Ben Mendelsohn and the Marvel logo.
Okay.
After that, it goes downhill. It's just the movie's boring, and the parts that aren't boring are kind of damaging to the brand. They don't pay attention to a lot of continuity, and
Okay.
some of the scenes are probably both boring and damaging. I don't know, but
I didn't really pick up on a lot of continuity issues.
there's a line early in the film that kind of explains the entire film in total. It's all blank. My life,
Yeah.
my personality, the plot, your interest, etc.
I would disagree with that. I would disagree with that. I think Brie Larson does a fine enough job. And
There are so many times that Sam Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn are throwing personality at her, and she just sucks it all up like a sham wow. She's
No, I disagree.
she is this blank.
No, I don't see it. There's enough Carol Danvers in there. I think I'm sure both of us agree Katie Sackhoff would have been a way better choice. But she's still got enough of the kind of sarcastic, sometimes unfeeling.
That's all she does. She talks lines to people.
I mean, she's sardonic, in a lot of ways.
Sardonic is not the same. That's what Natalie Portman fans say. Natalie Portman talks lines to you.
No, this is completely different from fucking Padme. This is a completely
If
different.
Padme
performance.
had a bodysuit,
No, this is totally different. No, there's some good exchanges between Brie and Sam Jackson, particularly in the car, or even in the bar scene where she's asking him to prove that he's not a Skrull. I don't think that's a spoiler. But I mean, there's enough exchanges between the two of them where personalities on both sides, I think, come through. I don't think you're getting a flat wall from her. I think that's a little harsh.
it's the God honest truth.
I mean, fine. That maybe you. I don't think that's the case, and I don't know that a lot of people would really agree with you on that one. I mean, to compare her to Jesus Christ, Queen fucking Star Wars is ridiculous. That is a wall.
I will not condone a course of action that leads our people to war.
Yeah.
Now, let's go help the Skrulls.
No, I don't. Man, I don't know. I feel like maybe you weren't watching the movie.
I was watching the movie. It
so
was
sure
just.
about that.
It was just.
I liked it overall. I had a fairly decent time with it, and I like again that it's not a fucking end of the world thing. It's kind of.
Were you paying attention?
Yeah.
I don't think that you were if you didn't think this was an end of the world thing.
It's not really.
Do you know who Ronan the Accuser is?
I know, but even still, we can talk about that in the spoilers. It's not really end of the world. That's not the overarching plot in this movie. We can get into it in spoilers. You could argue that becomes an element in the last 30 seconds of the film, but it's definitely not the overarching plot.
What a disaster. I don't know why he's in this film.
Who?
Ronan, the accuser.
Oh, yeah. He's there for like a minute. I guess just to show that the Kree are kind of dicks, but yeah.
You're like, I don't know. I could not feel a whole lot more dead to this movie.
Yeah.
This movie, see, okay. There are a couple things that annoy me about this.
Okay.
And that is principally like, there was a part of me that was sort of curious, like, what would it be not to see this movie?
Okay.
And to walk into Avengers Endgame and see that little slice of what would it be like to be a normie and to be like, well, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And then, like, you want to talk about it, so we go see it. And then, like, this movie is marketed as like this strangely huge victory for women.
God,
coming
I
out
knew
on
this was gonna come into it. God.
International Women's Day.
That's why it's bad.
And
Yeah.
ignoring the boatloads of successful action adventure films headlined by women. But the
Jesus
message it
Christ.
sends is actually pretty terrible.
Is it
right?
Is it really bad?
Not only do they hire Brie Larson, who's little more than a pretty face on screen, whose apparent only qualification that I can find is the fact that she's about a decade younger than Katie Sackhoff.
Okay.
And with Brie, they sort of perpetuate the disposability of Hollywood women in their 30s and the sort of Barbie doll image of superheroines
Oh my God.
by hiring something as silly as a butt double.
Okay.
And there's nothing, it's nothing new, right?
No, it's not.
Hollywood has been using body doubles for lots of different purposes for decades, whether it's, we need somebody who has a particularly attractive singular feature, or, so-and-so doesn't want to be in this raunchy sex scene. So we'll get somebody who looks decently enough like her and, long hair, keep the head down and, just plow it from behind. That sort of thing.
Right.
So that's fine. But I don't understand what it means for your character to be so boring. She has no personality worth talking about. And if you want to be a strong woman, what are you supposed to be? Like boring as hell from 9 to 5?
Well, I mean, I would totally disagree with that characterization of her, but
your superpower is that you get angry? Like, this isn't a huge victory for women. This movie is below average
God.
with a character who has a story arc so simple that when the writer sat down to draw it out, they used the short end of the protractor.
Okay.
And if your IQ even exceeds the number of ounces that you can shove into your face worth of popcorn over the runtime of this goddamn film, you'd realize it was going to be boring when they advertised it the way they did.
Oh my God.
It happens every time. Every time this happens, they're like, you have to go see this movie. You have to buy the fucking Tide Pods because it's your moral duty to give us money because this film is about our pet project, our super special cause. And if you don't like it, then you're just a bad person.
Right.
And you knew it was going to suck. And it sucked.
Right. Well, it didn't. I mean, it's fine. It's a perfectly fine movie. I think you're a little triggered on the culture war stuff. As usual.
The thing is, I was bored.
That's
I was
fine.
So
I don't know what
bored.
that has to do with the tirade that you just went on about the International Women's Day and all of this crap that has no bearing whatsoever on the quality of the movie. It has no fucking the marketing campaign has nothing to do with whether it's a good movie or not.
Carol Danvers does not have a story arc. She has a story line.
What are you talking about? Of course she does. She doesn't know who she is at the beginning of the movie, then she knows who she is at the end of the movie. That's an arc.
It's really not.
It is an arc. I don't know what your definition of fucking arc is.
It is a.
She
it
starts
is a,
in a place and then she's not in that place at the end of the movie. What are you fucking talking about? She grows, she develops, all of that. It's a really basic one, but it doesn't mean, but it's still there. It still exists. You can argue all day that it's not compelling. That's fine. Again, that has nothing to do with the fucking trailer or any of the marketing behind it or anything else going on in 2019. But it's still an arc. To exaggerate it out of all proportion, no, it's not an arc because they wanted me to see it because of girls, is a stupid argument tactic. It's a triggered argument.
I'm telling you that we should be smarter than this because it's all about the Tide Pods.
Oh my God.
They say you have to see this. It's your duty to buy this product because otherwise you're not a good right thinking person.
Right.
And it's just another way to get butts in seats.
God. Yeah, it is.
Eat the goddamn Tide Pods.
Yeah.
And you know what? Tide Pods are bad for you. And this movie is bad for you.
No, this movie is fine. I think you're a little hypersensitive to this stuff, and that's all. That's what we're hearing right now. Tactic Angel, a little bit on a hair trigger for this kind of crap. So if the movie isn't Citizen Kane, then it's a big piece of shit.
No.
That's what it would have to be. For a movie to go through this kind of marketing scheme, like it would have to be on that level for it to transcend that. But if it's just a mediocre movie, oh no, it's a piece of shit.
We don't even have to do that because, like, okay, first of all, there's a history of this, right? Like Beauty and the Beast did that.
I don't care.
Even though we didn't need to see it with Jungle Book.
I don't know what that has to do with the quality of the movie. Ghostbusters isn't bad because of its marketing campaign. It's bad for other reasons. Beauty and the Beast, again, is not bad for its marketing campaign. It's bad for different reasons. You can't talk specifically about what's going on in this film.
Arm twisted behind my back in order to see Wonder Woman because it was a decent film. And why didn't I need my arm twisted behind my back to see any of the Tomb Raiders or Scarlett Johansson or Hunger Games? Though I didn't honestly watch all of them.
You wanted to see them. Which is fine. Who cares?
No, I think
I don't know who's twisting your arm in the first place. What studio head is coming to your house and putting you in a fucking chokehold until you see Captain Marvel? Nobody's doing that to you, you lunatic. You don't have to fucking see these movies. The reason we see them is because they're part of the Marvel Universe. That's it. I didn't really want to see fucking Ant-Man because I don't give a shit. But it's a Marvel movie, film. So I went to fucking see it. I can tell you for sure, I definitely don't want to see any more Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and those movies are way worse than this. And they're a lot worse than Ant-Man. Those are bad movies for reasons that exist inside of the movie and have nothing to do with the way they are marketed.
I think the first one is okay. The second one's not so good.
The first one is not actually that great, and the second one is a fucking train wreck. But
I think we agreed on the second one.
Yeah, we do. This is fun. We disagree now. Finally, it's been too long. I'm ready to fight you, Tactic.
Great. Let's go ahead and rate this so that you can explain to me why I should care about this movie. I will probably continue to not care about it.
I'm just going to tell you that your reasons for crapping on this movie are stupid. They have way more to do with Twitter than they do with the fucking movie itself, but...
Well, I'll tell you right now, your mom's stupid, so...
Nice. It's because you hate women. Fucking asshole.
That's it.
Yep. I'm twisting your arm.
I mean, it's just such a dumb thing. Like we can dislike Elektra because it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
We can dislike Catwoman. It's a bad movie.
Yeah.
I dislike Hunger Games because I just don't give a shit.
I mean, that's fine.
I've seen at least 2 or 3 of, I guess, the 200 movies in the Resident Evil. Like, I don't know how many there are. There are probably like 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah.
And I still, Don't care. I've seen Underworld. Underworld's great.
Yeah, there's like 5
Kind
of
of
those
great.
too, I think. But
Yeah, I think I've only seen 3 or 4 of them.
that's pretty good.
I haven't seen all of them.
I think I've only seen
it's-
one.
Yeah, they're a little average.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't need the sanctimonious nonsense telling me eat the Tide Pods. Midget Radio, rate the goddamn film.
Okay.
1 to 5.
Okay. I give it 3 stars.
I give this film 2 stars.
Okay.
This movie is boring and completely forgettable.
This movie is decent and forgettable. Yeah. We agree on half of that at least.
I think that this movie is going to age very poorly.
I don't know how. It's set in the 90s. I mean, it's pretty much,
I think it's going to age poorly in the sense that like people came out and watched the original Star Wars JJ thing, whatever.
Oh,
the Force
right,
Awakens.
The Force Awakens, yeah, okay.
And everybody was like real big on that, or like they went and they saw The Dark Knight Rises. And I
Yeah.
think that slowly history is vindicating our opinion from the beginning
I don't know
that
about
movie
that.
was not very good.
I hope it is, but I don't know. But this movie would have to actually be bad. I feel like that's your biggest problem. The movie's not actually it's not that bad. I can totally see boring. I can see boring.
This movie has
forgettable,
no redeeming qualities.
unengaging. It's not bad though. Like it doesn't do anything. There's nothing inherently horrible about this movie.
The
If you don't
Okay.
like Brie Larson, you don't like Brie Larson. That's fine.
It is a
that's just
waste
how it
of
is.
time.
But that's not bad. No, this isn't stuff that's bad. Tactic Angel, if you want to know what's bad, just listen to any time we talk about Star Trek Discovery, where we cite specific things that are horrifically bad. There's nothing like that in this movie. The plot it fairly much it makes sense. You have some fairly entertaining aspects here and there, I would think. Some people are gonna like the fucking cat. Good for them. I'm happy they enjoy the cat. And Ben Mendelsohn is totally engaged. He's solidly the best performance in this movie. And the most engaging character.
He did get a chuckle out of me.
Yeah, he's the best performer, and he's got clearly the most interesting character in the film. Other than that, the movie it's fine.
What a disappointment, though. So what we have here is like, first of all, Skrulls are bad dudes, right?
Kind of, yeah, kind of. But so are the Kree.
The Kree are bad dudes too, and like the Kree Skrull war is kind of a big deal in like Marvel in the universe sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I guess we're supposed to believe that this is kind of like the tail end mop up of that that operation. So we're not going to see it. Like, we're not going to get to experience it.
I don't know about that. We'll see. Because there's a couple of different ways that they could go from here. That they've gotten the Kree to sort of back off on the Skrulls is kind of an interesting position. Because the Skrull, like, I would like to see the Skrulls evolve into a more menacing race, which I kind of hope they do. And I still think that's extraordinarily possible. This is set in the 90s, so like after Avengers Endgame, if they actually want to get into the more like intergalactic stuff in the Marvel universe, you're looking at like 20, 30 years later, which is plenty of time. So I don't think there's any real issue there.
Yeah, for 6 refugees to turn into a real force.
Well, there are definitely more Skrulls out there. That is not like those are the only Skrulls in the fucking universe. There's still plenty out there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see anything in this movie that said there were only 6 Skrulls left in the entire fucking universe.
I just kept thinking of Bajorans. There's your Star Trek reference.
Good job.
Actually, I also was thinking about Suliban, but...
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Suliban, Bajorans.
Yeah.
Those are what the Skrulls are.
I guess. I guess so. What little you see of them.
I'm going to say the nice thing that I have to say about this that isn't about the opening.
Okay.
Why would I want to turn into a filing cabinet?
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was the only
Yeah,
part of the movie that seemed to solicit any laughs.
that was pretty funny.
Everything else was just deathly silent.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I was fine with it.
I'm trying to read the crowd here, right? Because I was bored, so I have to pay attention to
I
other
don't
people.
care what your theater thought. I don't care what you think. The other people in your fucking movie theater thought about this movie. But yeah, it was fine. So I like Ben Mendelsohn. I like Sam Jackson, of course. All the music is great. You're too old to probably appreciate it, really.
Oh, God.
But I liked all of it. I liked that we got Nirvana and No Doubt and Hole and Garbage, and these are all like great. REM. It's like 2 REM songs, I think. Good solid stuff from the 90s.
So it was just,
I liked it.
I'm just a girl.
Yeah, that was funny.
I checked out.
That song, God, this is just, God, you are just incapable of being able to enjoy this kind of stuff at all. It's ridiculous.
I will draw your attention to the last time that they completely shat on Ronan the Accuser
Yeah.
in the dance off, and I like the dance off, and you
Yeah.
were like, I think dance off is stupid.
It was
That's what your
stupid.
voice sounds like, by the way.
Yeah. All right.
Jack Angel, you're wrong about everything on Midget Radio.
Tech
Eat the
Angel's
fucking Tide Pods.
Getting a little triggered here. Okay.
So anyway, so I like the dance off. You don't,
No, I don't.
because you're incapable of liking these sorts of things.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy, that might be true.
So
It's
Carol
lame.
Danvers,
But you don't like
her
Just a Girl
story
because
arc.
it's about a girl, right? Because it's about
No,
a girl.
I
who's
just
like,
thought
she's
it was
just a
so.
girl.
It's
But
just
she's like,
so
she's
on
really,
the
she's
nose.
really like beating people up. But it's a girl, and this like girl's taking pride in the fact that they're girls, and you're like, that's not okay with me.
My superpower is being able to stand up repeatedly in slow motion exactly the same way.
Yeah,
You're like, wow, that's really impressive.
it's the Batman thing, right? It's why do we fall down? Right? It's that scene. You like that scene? Batman.
You mean when he's talking to his son?
Yeah. I mean, I know that there's 2 guys in that scene, but
If that's what
maybe
it takes.
that's why it resonates. But this is why you can't cite it. Just this goddamn 2019 sucks. This whole current era just fucking sucks. This stupid culture wars, all the fucking social justice warriors on both sides of the fence. I'm a lady. I get to be a lady. No, that's not okay because I'm a man and it's not fair to me as a man. And that's still identitarian shit. And that's why I can't enjoy movies or anything. I can't enjoy anything anymore.
So this movie starts out. This movie starts out with Carol Danvers. She gets in a fight with Jude Law, who
Yeah.
has a character whose name is probably not Jude Law, but
No.
isn't memorable enough to remember.
No.
She beats him up.
Yeah, I kind of. I mean, yeah.
She hits him with a photonic blast.
Yeah.
She wins.
Yeah.
He says, your problem is that you can't control your emotions,
Yeah.
or something like that. And then the climax of the film is that she learns that her superpower is to not control her emotions. And then she can just IDDQD her way straight through all of the baddies in what appears to be a really captivating sequence. And then she fights Jude Law at the end.
Yeah.
Now that she's Super Saiyan Carol Danvers.
Yeah.
And she wins again.
Yeah.
You're like, she didn't need to go through that arc where she is like, I don't know who I am. Now I know a little bit about who I am. Now I know a little bit more about who I am. Now I know a little bit more about who I am.
Yeah.
Now I know who I am. What a fascinating fucking movie.
Well, the arc is right. She's told that
It is.
She's meant to serve the Kree, right? She's super into that and everything. And then she realizes that the Kree have been lying to her.
Is she?
Yeah, she says literally to the Supreme Intelligence that she wants to serve. Like, that's pretty clear at the beginning of the movie. That's pretty clear. And she directly says, I want to serve to the Kree Supreme Intelligence. And that's when she gets the opportunity to go on this little mission with Jude Law and where they get ambushed and everything. So that's all pretty obvious. If you're paying any attention to the movie. But then she learns that, like,
I was having so much difficulty carrying.
She learns that they had been lying to her, and then she learns that, like, her powers are her own. They weren't something that were given to her by the Kree, which I thought was weird at the beginning of the movie. But and then so the whole theme, the whole simplistic theme of this movie is that, like, she's being told, right, that she's supposed to serve the Kree and she's supposed to be a soldier and she's not supposed to have, like, feelings and she's supposed to be disciplined and all that kind of shit. And then she learns, you know, back on Earth, kind of who she was, and even talking to Sam Jackson a little bit, that sometimes you got to go with your gut, and that kind of stuff. And that's, you know, that's what she learns how to do, to kind of trust herself a little bit more. And, you know, that's like a really freeing experience. That's why she's a badass at the end of the movie. I mean, it's basic, but it's an arc. It's not any less or it's not any less complicated than anything you would generally expect to find in a fucking Marvel superhero movie. So I want to talk about Ant-Man's arc. I'm not even sure why we're using this as a criticism. It's there. The arc exists. You're either into it or you're not, and it's fucking fine if you're not. Just don't tell me that it's because it was marketed some way and someone made you watch this movie, and if you don't watch the movie, you're not a good person. I don't know who's fucking telling you that, but it's not me.
You know, you're right. Midget Radio is a totally fascinating character, and etc.
And see, none of that has been my argument. None of that is even the argument. I think this is a perfectly fine movie.
Ant-Man.
But I'm not going to argue that it's like super interesting. I know you have to take interesting it there so that you have something to argue against. But
Ant-Man is interesting because you like Paul Rudd's character.
I like Brie Larson in this movie. I don't know what to tell you, man. She's fine. She's fine. I like her. The thing that annoys me about Ant-Man is that, like, my God, look at what an adorable, great father and all this shit that he is. Jesus Christ, just ram it down your fucking throat. What a good guy. Just kind of in the wrong place at the wrong, but what a great guy all the time. It's just a little tedious, man. The movie's a little, like, it tries a little too hard, I think. Paul Rudd's, like, naturally charming enough. He doesn't need all this extra shit built into the script. I don't need to know that he's, like, world's #1 dad. All this crap.
#1 grandma.
So whatever. But this movie's fine. I wish you could, I don't know. I feel like if this movie was made in a different time period, like if this movie was made 10 years ago, or even 15 years ago, it'd be fine. Wouldn't have all the cultural shit in the way that is totally fucking clouding everyone's ability to just watch a movie or a TV show anymore.
I imagine, like, this movie is essentially The Phantom for me, right?
I guess.
Well,
I mean,
and that's what what you're saying is, if this was made 10 or 20 years ago, you would look at it and I mean, like 20 years ago, the PlayStation 3 level special effects in some of the shots would have been, you know, a little bit more impressive when, you know, we're all watching Space Above and Beyond and Battlestar Galactica on the television.
Yeah.
That doesn't look real.
Well, they could just use models like in Star Trek, maybe. Look pretty decent.
No. We need the PlayStation 3 level graphics. Sure, maybe an alternate reality where anyone ever cared about Carol Danvers' character when other than like in the 80s until she got in that really fucked up rapey storyline, and that's when she kind of fell out of favor.
Well, yeah.
Well, like, and since then she's had like, I don't know, like 7 reboots of her comic. She's in and out of print.
I mean,
like,
my God, that's normal nowadays.
Well,
it is normal. So has Captain America. So have the X-Men. So has Thor. Like, Jesus Christ. Constant reboots of titles. Like, Captain Marvel's been pretty regularly in print. But yeah, it's gone through a bunch of different reboots. But that's comic book shit. That's normal.
Great.
I mean, it is. I don't know what to tell you. That is the case. I'm reading Uncanny X-Men number 13 right now because of reboots.
I actually have some of the old Miss Marvel stuff, and that character. Why?
Yeah,
because people used to like Miss Marvel.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I never did. But that was true for all of the Avengers for a long time until these goddamn movies came out.
So anyway, to talk about the Avengers, I will list the things that seem to make a little bit less than complete sense to me in terms of continuity. How is it that Captain America is referred to as the first Avengers 50 years before Carol Danvers gives him that name?
I don't know, because that's how the comics are. Who cares? I mean, she wasn't really an Avenger, right?
No, but
I mean,
the name of the Avengers is based off of the writing
idea
on the side of a plane.
Yeah. Maybe they'll start calling her the first Avenger. I'm sure everyone would be really happy if that happened.
Can you explain to me how the Tesseract got from Howard Stark into Mar-Vell's hands and then back into Agent Fury's hands?
Did he have it first? I don't remember.
They recovered it, I think.
I mean, I don't think that's really continuity breaking.
I guess you can just assume that Howard. Sorry, I'm listening to Tony Stark's mom call for his dad in my head.
Okay.
Howard! No, don't choke my husband.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. That was such a better movie than this.
I don't know what movie
That's not
that
a fair comparison, though, because that movie was very good.
War. Yeah.
Then there are little things that just annoy me, like why in the world is Nick Fury a cool dude? Super serious. What has he gone through? He's seen some shit, right?
Yeah.
Apparently he got his eye taken out by a space cat.
Oh yeah, that's stupid. Yeah.
It's let me take an aside here because I would like to lighten the mood just a little bit.
Okay.
You know Representative Crenshaw in the US House? He's the guy with the eye patch.
Yes.
Do you know that he has a glass eye?
No.
He does. Do you know what's on it?
I don't know.
Captain America's shield.
That's pretty cool.
He is the coolest motherfucker in Congress. It's like, I was a fucking SEAL. I lost an eye. I got a Captain America thing. Got a smoking hot wife. I got all the stuff.
Yeah.
People made fun of me, and I was the better man for it.
Yeah.
Kick ass, man. Anywho.
Great.
And then there's also Coulson forgets somehow between this movie and Iron Man how to say shield. Instead, he has to say the strategic homeland intervention. I don't know how to spell shield. I think I get the I and the E wrong every time. And I'm not a good speller, and you know
I
it.
before E, but yeah.
You know, you just fuck off. I don't care. Intervention and Enforcement Logistics Division.
Yeah.
Okay. So, whatever. It just seems that they're playing fast and loose here, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Usually they're pretty good about continuity, and there seems to be some issues.
I don't really think there are any issues that are completely, we are completely incapable of overcoming. I'm sure that if you want, Marvel'd be happy to have somebody write a few tie-in issues for the MCU that can explain like how Mar-Vell got the Tesseract and all of that crap.
I'm sure Howard just gave it to her.
Pay $5 for those comics. And
I'm not going to do that.
I know you won't, so I don't think it matters. But
I have nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, neither do I. It was fine. Listener, don't let Tactic Angel get you down.
This movie is boring.
Perfectly entertaining movie.
Brie Larson is horribly miscast. She has virtually no facial expression.
But
Katie Sackhoff would have been
Brie Larson
a
does
lot
decent
better.
Enough job.
Listen to me as I say how much a lot better she would have been. Then you know that I am right. Because I feel like you, listener.
Yeah.
I have a heart.
Right.
She also seems embarrassingly unfamiliar with the physical act of running, which is unfortunate in a movie where she's required to run a lot.
Fine. I don't know when you became like the world's #1 expert on how people are supposed to fucking run.
It's just weird.
It's fine.
It's weird.
It looks like
watching
running.
her run.
Maybe because you're such a fat piece of shit, you don't know what running looks like anymore.
I know what running looks like.
Idealized, fantastical version of it now.
When I run, it's like the $6 million man.
It makes no sense. The human body cannot move like this.
They should film her from like the waist up.
She looks fine. She looks like how people look when they run. You just have to, I don't know, run
Miserable.
sometimes to have some appreciation for it.
All right. Well, that has been episode number 77 of The Wednesday Night Gentlemen, Multimedia Empire official podcast. Please give us a like if you've enjoyed this video somehow, or subscribe to our channel if that's what you want to do. You can also find us on Twitter, where we are at WNG_MME_OPC, or head on over to Facebook, where we are simply The Wednesday Night Gentlemen. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we will see you again on number 76 of this podcast. Bye-bye.